And now, your host of the Ballsville Game Podcast, Scott Fitzgerald.
Welcome back, Ballsville gamers. This is going to be a bonus pod. I am your host, Scott Fitzgerald, aka Ludes for Sale on Sleeper. And I'm here with my co-host, Sean Clemens, S. Clem, and Westlex, Alex Hernandez, our presidente. And we've got a lot of questions about the wagering demo for our games, and where some of the money's going as far as like for the bonuses and what percentage we keep for the games. So we wanted to put this together and break it down so you guys would understand it a little bit more and not have to like just read it, because I know some people, I know myself, I like to visualize something rather than just read something. So we did bring Alex on. And we're gonna go over this right now, and hopefully this will clear things up for you guys in the future. So take it away, Alex.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Luz, welcome back from vacation. Sean, good to see you again. So the wagering, it is a bit tricky. There's tier-based wagering. So essentially, whether you're in the low, mid, or high stakes, the tiers are going to be based 25% of your winnings, 50% of your winnings, or 100% of your winnings. So the whole name of the game is Ballsville. We try to reward you for having the balls to wager. Like Scott always says, fantasy football meets poker. That's what we're all about here. So we keep your odds the same. You play, you win in your league. Your odds are going to be 1 of 6 of placing first or second. So if you look at our wagering demo, you're going to notice it's a little bit convoluted, but what we did is we try to cover all 3 of the tiers in a single doc. So we're going to use the high stakes as an example here, because that's where we're getting the most questions about. So for the high stakes, you're paying $100 per entry. That's 12 people, $1,200. So if you win first, you're going to multiply your winnings by eight. You get $800. Second place gets $200, so you double your dues. So there's $200 unaccounted for. So on 140 of that is going to get put up, times 10 leagues. You're looking at $1,400 is getting put up, and that's the bonuses. So the $1,400 is there to incentivize you if you win or if you place second to wager. So you win your league, you have $800. If you want to enter tier 1, you're going to wager $200, and we're going to put up a $200 wagering bonus for you. And that's going to encourage all 10 of the players that win their leagues to wager. That's the main pot, is that first tier. Now, in addition to your league winners, that's $200 times 10 league winners, $2,000 for the high stakes. We're also going to let people that are runner-ups, you didn't win your league, you don't get to go after the championship cup, but you can take your $200 winnings and you can enter that first tier. Now, you're only eligible to win 50%, but that's still a good chunk of change. That's still $2,000. If everybody were to wager, your league winners, your runner-ups, that's $200 from 20 different people that are going into that first tier. So if you're a runner-up, you're eligible to win $2,000 off of that. And if you're a league winner, you can win all $4,000 plus the $200 wagering bonus. Now, if you're a league winner and you decide to enter tier 2, now you're going to be putting up $400 into the wagering process. Now, you don't get to put up $200 into tier 1 and then $400 into tier 2. That would be $600. You don't have that. You're putting in $400. So you're putting $200 into tier 1, and the other $200 goes into tier 2. So now you have 2 chances to win. You have your money in tier 1, and the odds are dependent on how many people wager there. And then that's the cutoff for the runner-ups. So in tier 2, you have nothing but league winners. Now, people might be a little bit more timid and don't want to wager, so that's why we put up a wagering bonus that's going to match that tier. So if you wager into the second tier, we have $400 waiting for you for whoever wins in tier 2. Now, you're going to have 10 league winners, and you might get maybe 4 to 8 of them that wager into tier 2. So we'll say you get 5. So now you're looking at 5 league winners times $200 each. You're looking at another $1,000 in there plus the $400 wagering bonus in there. So now you're looking at a good chunk of change for yourself. And then if you want to go even further and you risk 100%, or if you're in the $100 stakes, you risk all 800 to go to tier 3. There's an $800 wagering bonus waiting there for you. Now with 10 league winners, it's just a matter of who's going to put into that tier. And if you have, like last year, we had 2 people that went all in, just 2 people. So their odds were 1 of 2. They actually decided to split the money. They split the wagering bonus, and then they just went head to head for their wagers. And it was actually Chief Life 13. If you have him in your league, he's the one that came out on top, and he walked away with $150. And last year we only had $20 wagers. So that's the kind of outcome you can come away with. So for the high stakes league,
I want to know who the third person was that decided not to get in there and allowed just 2 people in there.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have some kind of remorse. You never know what the outcome's going to be, and you can't win it unless you're in it. So we're going to take the high stakes league, for example. We're going to say 10 leagues. All right, 10 league winners, and all of them go in, and they put $800. So now there's $8,000 in that tier. Let me rephrase that. There's going to be $2,000 in tier 1 from all the winners, another $2,000 in tier 2 from all the winners, and then $4,000 will be in tier 3. But you have 3 chances at winning. Okay, and then there's the $800 bonus for wagering in tier 3. So you're looking at somebody that could collectively win. If you wager everything and say everybody wagers everything, runner-ups and everything, there's $11,400 in wagers and bonuses, and one person can win that. But in week 16, after you win your league or your runner-up, you get to stop, you get to assess your team, and you get to decide, do you have the audacity, the manpower, the courage,
The
whatever you
Ballsville.
want to call it, the Ballsville. Yeah. Do you have the gumption to wager or not? You're going to have a lot of people that just want to collect their money, their 800, their 200, and exit the game. And it sounds like it's a bad thing for you, but the less people wager, the better your odds.
Okay, so we got a question here for Gary. Like I said, you guys, this is the time to ask questions because Alex's time is limited. We're in redraft mode now, so we're going to be really busy filling these leagues before the season. So please take advantage of these questions. And even if you forget today, when we host the pod tomorrow, you could go ahead and throw questions in there or throw them on YouTube. Like I said, I sift through them, and we can always address those questions if you don't get them in today. But Gary says, what is the fantasy scoring format once you wager? And what weeks will this occur? Is it most points scored between all of the wagered for a certain week?
Good question. And Gary, it was nice to meet you on the last podcast. So it is most points scored. Now, what separates us from a lot of other big games is that once you decide you're going to wager, we're going to open up your league, and everybody else is going to be able to come and check out your team, your roster. They're going to verify that your settings are all the same, that your scoring is all the same as theirs. That way nobody has a leg up. In week 16, your winners and your runner-ups are going to be determined. That's the end of your league. Now, if you notice in your league, you have a 2-week championship. That second week doesn't pertain to your league. That's for the game. So all that matters is how many points you score in week 17. If you're wagering, All you have to do is beat the people that wagered in your tier, and that's how you win the game.
Okay. All right. We got another question from Jeff, and Jeff says to you, Alex, how many more of each level is being released?
So we're all about odds here. We have 10 leagues for each stake, low, mid, and high, that are planned. We have we were on number 7 for the low stakes, number 6 for the high stakes, and number 2 for the mid stakes. So a little bit of honesty here. I'm not a fan of recruiting in August. I mean, we're barely into July, and it's already getting very convoluted out there. There's so many people that want to run their own leagues. Usually we're coming close to getting wrapped up with recruiting by now. So the odds of us continuing redraft past what we have planned, pretty slim. We don't want to make the odds outrageous for you guys. We want you guys to have good odds to win big prizes and stuff. So we're probably going to cap it off at just the 30 leagues. But that doesn't apply to our best ball game. Our best ball game has been closed for a couple weeks now, and we actually have a couple more divisions planned for you guys. So, we'll keep on drafting all the way up into the beginning of the season. But for redraft, I think we're going to cap it off at just the 30 leagues we have planned.
I don't see any more questions popping in. If you guys have any more questions, keep popping them in.
Sean, can you throw up that template from last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, guys. I was texting you guys that there was something in the background, and it was me. So it is all gone now.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not me.
Technical difficulties, everybody.
Let's answer Gary's question before we get into this template real quick. So Gary,
we got a roster. We got another question here.
Gary's second question is: do rosters and waivers lock in each league after the league championship?
Well, we have a trade deadline, so trades will be locked. If you're out of contention, if you're mathematically eliminated, or even if you're projected to be eliminated, like if you know you're losing the week, it's pretty obvious, and that's going to knock you out of playoff contention. You have no business trading. So we cut off trades. As far as waivers go, you have the ability to adjust your roster as it is. Obviously, we're not going to let somebody drop some all-stars just so that you could pick them up. We're very, very aware that there's friends in these leagues, and we try to let friends play the game with each other. I see Craig Chief Life has joined us. We try to let friends play with each other, and by doing that, we have these managers here that constantly monitor the game to make sure that everything is fair and even. And when you jump into a league to verify the other league winners, one of the things you can look at is trade history, just to make sure that everybody's playing on a level playing field. It's up to all of us to keep the game fair, and that's why we have managers.
I gotta mess with you, man. You guys have too many rings to not be messing with you.
Oh man, yeah. Chief was a big winner last year. He's one of our reigning champions. He's got the gold medal in a lot of these leagues.
I want to know what's up with Gary's thinker pose there on his picture. He's got like a headshot ready for Hollywood.
Yeah, what is that? Like a glamour shot or whatever?
I know, he's just.
Jeez.
I don't
know if it was that or he's trying to be a hand model or something.
The David Duchovny of hand models.
All right, I guess we can get into this this chart here.
Okay, so this chart is from last year. This is 2023, and last year we had just a handful. I think it was like 25 to 30 of single buy-in leagues. They were $20 buy-ins, so the payouts weren't as significant as they will be this year. But in this example right here, you're looking at the main pot. The main pot is what the champions can earn. And we had 14 wagers. So for a champion to score the most point, a league winner, I should say, to score the most points, they would have taken home $700.
And this was a $25 buy-in, correct?
20 actually.
20,
Yeah.
20 bucks.
20?
Yeah. So I think it was actually 12 people that wagered, and we had $100 as the wagering bonus for that first tier.
Awesome.
And for the side pot ended up being just a 2-person side pot, and that was between Chief and K Dog, another Trevor that's with the games. And they had 50
Too many of those out there already.
Yeah, the Trevors, man, everywhere. And then right here where it says runner-ups again, so the main pot was at $700, and as a runner-up, because you already suffered a loss in your league, you cannot be the Ballsville champion, but you can still play the game, the postseason, and so by wagering what you've earned, you're eligible for 50%. So you had 1 in 12 odds to win $350 if you're a runner-up, but if you're a league winner, you have the 1 in 12 odds of winning $700, but you also have 1 in 7 odds of winning at least $350. That's assuming the runner-up was the highest scorer. That means that there's still $350 that goes to the highest scorer among league winners.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
So down here, this is what your live scores look like. This is going to be a little bit better organized this year because we're going to have you have Scott and Sean here who are managing the high stakes league, so they'll be responsible for putting in the wagers, the league winners, and then right here, instead of leagues 1 through 22, you're gonna have just leagues 1 through 10 for whoever wagered, the amount that they wagered, which is going to insinuate what tier they're in, and then their week 17 points, which will be updated live after every slate of games. The Thursday, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, etc.
Trevor has a question here. He's asking is the scoring based off of wins or total score for the regular season?
That's just regular head to head. So we have a little bit of heartbreak, and we considered introducing league medium to try to get the best players out there, but I think luck is actually part of the game. So we're not going to do that this year. We might consider it next year. But
so it is head to head during regular season play.
Yes.
And then does it go to overall scoring? It looks like for the playoff scenario.
Just for week 17, it's just the highest score is only for week 17, and that's among wagerers in that tier. So
Gotcha.
You just have to outscore whoever is wagered against you.
Okay, up to week 16, we're matched up though.
Yes.
I hope that helps, Trevor.
Is that your daughter, Alex, chiming in? Who did that? But school.
Whoever it is, she missed you last week, Scott. She made sure to say that. She said it's not the same without Ludes. It kind of broke my heart a little bit.
That's my beautiful wife. Hi, wife.
Oh.
She's a player here. She's Soul Stiller. If you guys see her in your league.
What is she? What's her name?
Soul Stiller. She's a Steelers fan.
Soul Steeler.
Soul, yeah.
Thank you very much for missing me on the pod.
No, actually, my daughter wanted to come say hello at some point. She is wildly impressed that that your guys' podcast is up to 105 subscribers. That's what.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, can I say? It's all Scott, obviously.
It's not all me. It's not. I think it's
Jimmy.
I think people tune in to watch Sean and Ken go at it.
That's true, by the way. Jimmy's got up a good point there, Scott. We haven't talked about your tan here, man.
Oh, you like this? I'm a professional tanner, so I know what to use. I know how often I have to apply it.
How often you have to take the hat off so you don't get the tan line on the dome.
I know the proper tan extender. When you get out of the shower, you got to put the lotion on so you don't peel and extend the tan. So yeah,
puts the lotion on its skin.
Professional.
Not to mention 2 weeks of vacation in Florida will do that to you, right?
Yes.
Right. Sounds terrible.
I know.
Can't talk. I'm on a boat.
Yeah. So all right. So Jimmy's got he did, besides talk about my tan. He did say best ball and redraft both head to head weekly.
Best ball is most points for. So a lot of the questions we get, to be fair to us, a lot of the questions we get are included. The answers are in the documents that are pinned in your guys' leagues. All of our best ball games are all most points for. And then our dynasty and our redraft are head to head. And then to go with that, Trevor here asked how are ties to record handled. Well, the tiebreaker is most points for, and that's something that's incorporated in sleeper setting already. There's also a head-to-head element that I think, I'm not sure, but I think they incorporate. So if you have a tie score and you've already beat that person, I'm pretty sure sleeper puts you ahead of them in the rankings. It's probably something we should verify.
They should. I mean, it's NFL based in that scenario, so same concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trevor's just scared that he's going to tie with me and lose and then be all upset about it.
I think he broke your tie, your necktie. No, if we scroll down on this document, you guys are going to see this is going to be a template that we're going to repurpose. This is how we keep track of who wants to wager and who wants to exit with their winnings. You're going to have your league winners and then runner-ups right below them. You're going to have your tier one, which is that vertical column. In this instance, the little dollar bill indicates $50. And then the X is for people that opt out. So if you're not around when it's time to wager, your managers are going to come. They're going to declare you the winner. They're going to declare you the runner-up, and they're going to tell you, "Hey, now is the time if you would like to wager." And probably have to reiterate how these tiers work. So if you're absent or you don't respond in time, which would be like Thursday kickoff, of week 17, then by default you get the red X and you keep your winnings and you exit the game. And in this instance, you can see some people wagered into tier one, and we have K-Dog right there who went all in. So he had a $0 balance that he was keeping, and his money was invested into tier one, tier two, and tier three.
Trevor said he'd never seen that league.
He's such a liar. Such a liar. Trevor about to see me win all these leagues this year. Especially
sounds like you got.
Wasn't paying attention last year.
Let me tell you guys too. Last year, Trevor was on the phone with me during our main league that we've been in for years. We were on the phone together, and I coached him through the entire draft. And this fool makes the playoffs with that team and doesn't give me any credit whatsoever.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know, Sean. I think you got a bounty on your head from what I'm hearing from a lot of these people.
Oh, goodness. Let me tell you. So
I didn't earn it. It's not like I did anything or said anything that, would put me in that position.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, I'm calling you out, man. We're in one of these high-stakes leagues, and I'm watching Sean just create a ruckus because he is snatching all the quarterbacks off the board.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's holding them hostage and forcing trades.
Hey, I only held him hostage for two picks, man.
Yeah, he got what he wanted.
I was in Florida. When I was in Florida, Sean calls me and he's like, "Are you watching this? Are you following this draft?" He goes, "You're gonna love it." And I'm he was like a kid, like on Christmas. It was like he was just so excited. What was unfolding.
Yeah, I got a boring life right now, right? That's the guy I got going.
Yeah, it was like a kid saying, "Dad, did I do good? Did I make you proud, Dad?"
Yeah, it was a Scott formula that he was following.
Hey, it worked out great. The Depth Crusaders are going to take that league down. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
The Depth Crusaders. Yeah, that's right. You named them the Depth because he took this guy's like what was it, like picks for the rounds 14 through
like
19
12
or something
through 16 for like 20 through 26.
No, the cherry on top was when he took all his fab. That was
the fab.
He took that was like the kick in the nuts. Give me your while I'm at it.
Sorry, we're in a different world than we were 10 seconds ago.
Give me all your fab.
Oh man.
Oh,
so we do allow trading during the redraft startup, and that's something that's a little controversial, but it's one of those things, like if we didn't, people would complain, and if we do, people are going to complain.
It's not
Can't make
controversial
everybody.
at all. I think draft trading for redrafts is just fine.
It is. It is. I agree. We've done it for years, and very rarely have we had a problem. In fact, we've only had one trade that was up for reversal over the last 4 years, and that trade ended up not getting reversed. And the guy who had lost the trade after getting shamed actually just got upset and left the league anyway. So it's not like we had a trade reverse because it was egregious.
But
it's something we look out for.
Player who didn't know that they were doing anything wrong, so that sucks.
The only thing we're really looking for is like during season, team dumping. That's basically what we're really looking for. Or like two guys colluding, with one another, try to build another team up to try to make a super team. That's basically all we're really looking for. I mean, just something like that. And that's so easy to spot. I mean, everybody can spot.
And I don't get the impression from the crowd that we have that we're going to have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
No, we've been fortunate, especially in the high stakes leagues. We had people bump heads over opinions, but overall, everybody's there to play the game, and everybody seems to know what they're doing. Nobody's letting anybody go for cheap, and we're keeping an even playing field. And I honestly can't wait to watch those leagues unfold because they've been very active.
You want to talk about a fun league to watch unfold? Like let's when we get into this guillotine league here in a little bit, that's going to be a fun one. Yeah. Speaking of it, if you're still on the clock, Chiefs Life, when I go look, I'm going to be upset with you over here chiming in and not even picking yet.
I must say though, I'm really surprised that these $100 leagues are filling up fast. I mean, I thought it would be a little slow, but you guys have really taken on to these high stakes redraft, and it's been a lot of fun to follow it. And, seeing the same guys that got in 1 and 2 that maybe didn't seem like they liked it at first are already into the next one or wondering when the next one's going to launch and then going out and recruiting like Mr. Been doing this.
Shout out.
He's been tremendous because I've been on vacation. It's been hard. I've had Sean cover me, and he's been like recruiting and telling people how to do the league safe. And so we really want to give a shout out to Mr. Been doing this because he's and I want to do a shout out to a few guys too, like Cash has been really good in there. So we really, as managers, we really, really appreciate the help because it's not like we do this 24/7. I mean, we have lives too, and we do other things too. So it helps to have good people.
You guys have lives?
The last 2 weeks, I felt like I lived like 5 years.
Says George Hamilton over here.
Yeah, there you go, George Hamilton. That's the title. Yeah, sure. So yeah, we really appreciate everything that you guys help us in the leagues and make it very free flowing. Let's see. We got is this a question or just? Oh, yep.
Asking if we've ever seen this before. I think Alex, didn't you talk about somebody that had the same situation come up, and because he tried to report you from multiple different sources, he ended up getting busted for having multiple leagues or something like that?
All right, we'll read this. We'll read this one out. So Wojo, he writes out, ever uncover a misfit or two joining a league with multiple entries? I'm in a couple of other best ball auction leagues where the commish busted a guy that entered a draft with 2 teams.
So it's a great question. So one of the reasons why we veer away from auction leagues on a competitive scale is because it's very easy to take advantage. If you even have one person who doesn't know what they're doing in an auction league, now you have, a whole roster full of players that are going to be easily attained, and that's how you stack a roster. So last year, in fact, we had a guy making a shady trade. It was a Trevor Lawrence for DJ Moore, and then he moved up like 4 spots in the draft. And we called him out on it, and he ended up having multiple accounts. I think it was like 8. Sleeper's not supposed to tell you, but their admins were kind of outraged by it. So he used all 8 accounts. I have receipts of it and screenshots, but he used all 8 accounts to get me banned for like 10 hours, but we have managers, so everything was under control. anyway, Sleeper did their job, and they found out about his multiple accounts, and they banned him off of the platform, and whatever leagues he was in, he couldn't access and stuff like that. So justice was done. It's something that we watch out for. It's kind of why we have the managers, and what you guys are instructed to do is to watch out for things that are of that sort. Now, if you're in the redraft leagues, our disclaimer right before the draft is that you guys set the tone. You guys are the ones that are deciding what kind of trades are going to fly and what doesn't, and we call it uproar. So we don't veto. Trades are instant, but if anything ever goes down where it's like obvious, like this guy's out of playoff contention and has no business trading, or that trade doesn't make sense, why would he trade away his best quarterback when he's quarterback deficient? Things like that, you guys cause an uproar, and we have 2 or more league mates that are having a trouble with it. You can contact us, your managers, and we get together, we review everything. One of the first things that I look for is trade history. And if I see a trade history where one person is trading with another owner exclusively, and that these are players that don't hit the trade block, these are players that are just, basically offered up. Or one of the telltale signs is when somebody trades a player for fab instead of releasing them and letting the whole league have a crack at them. Things like that. It's there's red flags and then there's yellow flags, and it doesn't have to be a red flag. If you have like a collective amount of yellow flags, that's something that potentially would exclude somebody who won their league based off of this. That would exclude them from the contest, and probably subject them to having a vote for a trade reversal. You
Like
guys
soccer.
set the tone.
Enough yellow flags, you get a red flag.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, so if it's a repeat offender, like last year, we had a guy who traded after he was out of the playoffs, and that was, I think, our only actual reversal of a trade, just because he was already eliminated and had no. And I don't think it was collusion. The guy really didn't think he was eliminated, but we did the math and we're like, no, you're technically eliminated. You have no business trading. So the trade was reversed because the league voted on it. That's an outside source affecting the outcome of the playoffs. So
what's
that
your
was an instant
vote requirement? Is it 50? Is it over 50%?
It's league majority. So as the commissioner, and then you guys as managers, we don't vote. So if any vote hits 6, we consider that league majority, because then we're at a point where that was the first to hit 6. So we can call it the majority. It can't be beat. And then in certain instances where, say we have an inactive league, because, let's be honest, at some point, people who aren't going to make the playoffs tend to check out. So if they check out, then we step in, and in our bylaws and our rules, it says that we have the right to spawn a vote ourselves, and then us, the collective as managers, and myself, if we determine something's egregious, then we can step in and we can, spawn the vote to reverse and ultimately vote in favor or against if we like to. It's all about keeping it fair.
Yeah.
So I want to throw 2 more things out there. So to let you guys know, we do have a blacklist that we do keep track of. It doesn't guarantee that guys can come back with a different, name and stuff like that. But if we do see some shenanigans, we will have, put them on a blacklist and, kind of go from there. One other thing we're
like casinos too, guys. We're not going to let you get away with this. We'll find you.
We'll take
Don't
you in the back.
try.
Take you in the back.
Well, look at this. This
Vegas.
is Chief right here. And Chief is one of my favorite players. He's been with Ballsville for a long time. And he's I think Craig, are you saying that you were the subject of that one trade reversal last year with that guy that was out of playoff contention?
Hurry up and type immediately. We need no dead air, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, that's going to show you, like I said, he's one of our favorite players. His name's Craig. He's been with us for a while, and we're indiscriminate, whether we like you or not. The whole purpose is to keep the games fair. That's why we have a collective. Yeah, see, we have a collective of managers, because if I'm playing in the league, these 2 guys are going to keep me honest. If Sean's playing in the league, me and Scott are going to keep him honest. Nobody's going to get away with anything.
Right. And then as far as like joining the leagues, because I've kind of noticed this a little bit, and I understand to a point. So when you guys come into the league, like right now we have Phoenix 6 for high stakes that's open. And when it first came, when these leagues start launching, you guys come in. I mean, you guys that have been doing it, you guys know the drill. You know the rules. But like for new players that come in, it can be a deterrent if they come in and they see a bunch of guys just sitting there, but nobody's paid. So if you guys want to, you guys know that we're not running away with your money. So if you guys come in and you guys are regulars, go in and pay up, because then when the new players come in and they say, wow, this league's already got 7 filled already that have already paid, they're most likely going to pay. If no one's paid yet and a bunch of people are just sitting there, they're going to leave because they might get spooked. There's a lot of, these new guys that come in, they don't know if, what's going on. So if they see a bunch of players are paid, and I think we're all like that. If we were to get in a league and we see that there's nothing's paid, I don't think we want to be the first ones to pay. But it is, if I go in there and I see, yeah, there's 7, 8 people paid already, then I'm jumping in, because you don't want to get in a situation like I think Sean said, in the chat one time. If you guys all wait, for that Walmart special to start, and you guys all run to the TVs, someone's gonna be left without a TV. So then we got to move you to the next league. So you don't want to get in that situation and it makes it harder for us as game managers, because now we're trying to match names with league safe names and who's paid and who hasn't. And then we don't want to start the league and then some guys say, well, I already paid and this and that. So it would just be helpful to us is if you you want to play, just get in there and pay. And for some reason, if something happened, and because life does happen, and before the league the league starts, you guys say, oh, something just came up, can I get a refund? We could either give you a refund or we'll just move you to the next league if you want to go to the next league. So I think,
which is a good point, man. Like if something comes up, like you pay early and it takes a few days, and then like, man, I got a vacation now, I got the kids for like 4 straight days, I don't know if I can do this. Like, no problem, we'll bump you to the next league. That league will start up probably right about perfect time for you when you're done with your kids, and you can just be in that league instead. It's the same league safe, so it's really easy to just bump you into the next league. You'll have an invite waiting for you when you're ready, and you can just do it that way. So don't be deterred by paying before early and be one of the first to pay and then have to wait a day or two for everybody else to catch up.
This is a great point, because like I said, we're getting into the middle of July, and if you guys are in the sleeper chat or if you're on Facebook, there's 20 to 30 leagues per hour that are just popping up. And while I have you, I want to make a good point. So last year I was in a big tournament. The guy seemed trustworthy. He had all his bylaws printed out and everything. And that tournament is not around this year. That tournament is actually going by a different name in the best ball leagues, because when you do the math, there's $5,000 unaccounted for. The guy claims that he's taking 2.7%, and there's $5,000 that's not part of the math. Now, I don't want to give away any names or anything, and the guy did pay his winner. His winner was actually one of our Ballsville players, Mr. Mark White. Congratulations. He won big.
$5,000 extra dollars?
No. He got out of I think it was like $55,000 that was collected. He paid out I think it was like $3,000 to $6,000 or something like that. So wherever that money went, all I know is that in that last contest, I made it into the playoffs. I was 180th out of like I forget, like 20,000 or something like that. I was 180th place, and I scored 206 week 1 of the playoffs, 206 points, and I dropped off the leaderboard. So I had to believe that all these people scored more than 206 points, enough to drop me off the leaderboard. And I had no idea what had happened. The guy admitted that he was having trouble keeping up with the document. And, you can't verify this. You just have to take this guy's word. With us, you're going to be able to go and verify whoever beats you.
Yeah.
Big difference. So
yeah, that's huge.
When you guys pay into the leagues, it makes the leagues more attractive. It lets people know that they can trust us when you vouch for us and stuff like that. And it really does. It carries a lot of weight.
It's very transparent. And I think I got to try to drive that point home a little bit, because like everything that we're doing, we're trying to make sure you guys are seeing it like just like we are. Like we're not hiding any access to anything from you guys. Like it's all out there for everybody to read. So like if you have questions or anything, like read through it. If you still have a question, DM us. Like we'll help you, man. Like we're not trying to hide a single thing here. You know, innocent people don't run, right? Like we're not trying to do anything crazy. We just want you guys to know that your money's in good hands.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I see you, Jimmy.
Yeah, we see you, Jimmy. Definitely got spooked.
Well, you need to stop getting so spooked, my friend. It's not like a big deal. The one thing about these guillotine leagues is I think maybe like 5 people have experience. Like it doesn't matter like if we're in a bunch of the other types of leagues. Most of us have not played in a lot of guillotines. I've only played in one. So
I got spooked
it's not
myself.
like I'm super
I got spooked
either.
myself, Jimmy. I got spooked myself. So first guillotine league for me.
Yeah, we could tell by your draft picks.
I know. Well, you know what? I'm going against the grain. I'm going against the grain.
Hey, thank you, Craig. We appreciate you, man.
So,
oh man. So should we get into the guillotine league, or do you think we got a little more to cover here, Alex, before we move forward?
No, I think we're good. I think we covered everything. If anybody has any questions beyond what we've talked about with the wagering process, we're always available. I was at work today and I was still, it was important to me to answer your questions because I don't want anybody to feel like they're in the dark. I think part of the reason why we had so few wagers last year was because there wasn't enough of us who, as managers, comprehended how the wagering was going to work. And so there wasn't enough of us or enough of me to go around to give everybody clarity. And that could have held people back from wagering in the first place. So the whole point of the Ballsville game is for you to wager. You assess your team. You say, hey, I barely crawled in. I have a lot of injuries. I'm going to take my money and leave. Or you look at it and you go, hey, man, freaking Dak and CD are on a hot streak. I'm going all in Ballsville. You know what I mean? And then that's how you get big payouts.
Well said.
I love it.
All right. Sean's favorite part, the gloating of the team.
Can I go now? Go ahead, Sean. Throw it up, man.
I didn't say I was going to gloat about my team.
Sean,
I already did all that.
Good,
I don't need to keep doing that. Maybe a little.
So excited. Come on, where's Tortoise? Give him hell, Tortoise.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Get in here. If you're not already, you better get in here and start chatting away, bro, because you need to start speaking up. I know you got to defend your squad, thinking you're the champion over here. So this is our draft board so far, guys. We have 18 teams in this league. This is our guillotine league that we've been just starting off. If anybody hasn't played in a guillotine league yet, they're amazing. They're a lot of fun. You eliminate a team every week until you get to, on our situation, the 14 playoff that's going to happen. But we're looking at 18 team draft, right? So you got to imagine that, things are going to be a lot different than you anticipated. And the fact that we're looking at elimination week 1, everybody is drafting with the intention of making sure they are not eliminated week 1 at minimum. That is like their number one priority, at least it should be. So basically, that's kind of where we're at. I don't know why we did a derby. I don't know why Alex decided to take number 1. My personal opinion was he just wanted to get his pick out of the way quick so he didn't hold up the draft because he's such a busy guy. But is that what it was? Really? Because
I've had better ability being at the turn where I can check in, knock him out, and then just wait for it to come back.
That's so funny. And I was like looking at it and I was like, why did he pick 1? Me and Trevor were on the phone. Why did he take 1? Like, that's like the worst spot in a third round reversal.
Especially
We were like, I think he just wanted to get his pick out the way early so he could move on and let everybody else draft while he was working all day.
True.
Yeah, the 3-round reversal in a team. It's hard to pick in the beginning.
Yeah, third round reversal changes things a lot, guys. If you're not familiar with third round reversal, it's basically the third round instead of coming around at 2-12 and then going to 3-1 for the same pick. So Alex being the first pick overall, he would have back-to-back picks at the end of the second and top of the first. You've basically swapped the third round, and the guy who's in the 12th position in this situation, the 18th position, is the one with the first pick in the third round. So after Alex decided to take Chris Olave, his next pick was not until the end of the third round. So it really does make a big difference in the way things play out. And anytime you're over 12-man league, I personally think third round reversal is almost a necessity. Because if you're in an over 12-man league and you're at the end of that draft, you are getting screwed, in my opinion. So you need to have a third round reversal to even things out, or the top of your draft is just going to have such a better team than the end of your draft. So that all being said, like, where do you guys stand with your players? Like, start with you, Alex, man. What do you think so far, bro?
I think I waited too long. I think my second running back's going to be my weakness, and I was really hoping for Kincaid in that third round, and TC sniped them, and then I got sniped by for Jerome Ford by Ludes, and he was kind of my last backup plan there, and it kind of unraveled after that. But before when we were doing the Derby, I was trying to jump into a mock to see where I wanted to land, and I was pretty comfortable around like pick 10, something like that, where I would have a top tier player and then not have to wait so long for my third round pick. But like you said, I kind of just spur of the moment with number one, and I really don't like it. I don't think I'll be gone first week, but it was pretty tough.
Yeah, 18-team third round reversal. That front spot is brutal, man. You get that great first pick, but after that, man, you really got to be strategic with what you do, especially not being able to make trades. Look at Cheese talking shit. He's over here talking about how third round reversals suck.
Oh yeah, he's always been a proponent of it. Opponent.
That's terrible though, man. Like in a long league like this, could you imagine being in the 18th spot and having like you get 2 picks at 18 and 19, and then you gotta wait 32 picks to get your next pick? That would be terrible. Anyway, Gway, it would be 34 picks. I'm sorry. Jeez. So, I didn't mean to do that. So let's go to you, Scott. You're sitting there right behind him. I don't know why I jumped all the way over. That was not the plan. We'll go right here. This is what we're looking for. So this is you so far, man. What do you think?
Well, I didn't really, like I said, this is my first guillotine league. This is the first draft I've ever drafted with more than 14 players. So I didn't really know. I know I wanted my first pick to be somebody that was consistent with some upside. So I didn't really know how quarterbacks were going to go. And even though it's only a 1 quarterback setup, being, if it was 12 man, I would draft like a normal, I would wait on quarterback and grab them later. But considering I wasn't going to get another pick for a while, I wanted a stud quarterback. So I was waffling between Josh Allen and CJ Stroud because
I don't know why that's a waffle.
Well, I think the Texans offense is going to really, really be good this year. And I think the Bills offense, sorry, Sean, but I think they're going to take a little bit of a step back. So I think that with CJ and all those weapons, now bringing in Diggs, his prop bet for yardage is like I've seen it up to like 4,300 yards this year. So and plus he has, I think he's at around a late bye, like week 14. So I don't even have to worry about another quarterback. If he gets hurt, my season's over. And, so I figure I don't have to worry about quarterback. By the time week 14 comes, if I make it that far, then I'll address quarterback at that time. But, that's a position I'm not going to have to deal with. But like I said, I didn't know how this draft was going to go, and I wanted to make sure I got a good quarterback. So, and then as far as the, going on, I like Drake London. I don't think he should have dropped that far. I think he's gonna have a good year with Kirk Cousins. Devontae Smith's fine. I was actually kind of glad I got Najee Harris because I think they're really going to run the ball. So he should get some nice volume there. And then I wasn't crazy about my Ridley pick. I kind of I didn't have time to do any more research. I just said, you know what, I'm just going to grab this guy. I didn't have time to dick around with that. And then I really like the Jerome Ford pick. I think Cooks is going to be good as a second receiver. And then I probably waited a little too long. I think I got sniped on a tight end. I think it was.
You did.
Maybe it was.
Absolutely did.
Or it was somebody. I got
probably K. Dotton. I think you were looking at K. Dotton is my guess because you've been talking him up a lot.
Yeah. I got sniped on a tight end. So, but I'm all right with Conklin. He's fine. Rodgers throws to the tight end a lot, but I don't think. I'm not crazy about my team. I just know that I ain't going to be the first one out. So, I'll be happy being a first-time guillotine player if I can make it to like week 6 or 7. I think it'll be pretty good for being a first-time guy.
Hey, I mean, it's not terrible, brother. It's really not. Like for me, I'm definitely take a different approach to things. Like I'll go over to my squad here, and again, I only have 1 year experience on this, so it's not like I'm some sort of guru or anything. But I basically like to approach things with I want to get points first week guaranteed, right? So the way I look at it is I want to get that running back who I know is going to get carries, and I want to get that quarterback who I know has a good schedule and I expect to get points. Those are my goals in the early parts of these drafts. And me and Trevor both kind of have the same approach. So if you notice, his team and my team are similar as far as that's concerned. We both started out with 2 backs. So, I took Kyron Williams thinking Kyron Williams is going to get the carries at least week 1. Unless an injury happens in the preseason, he's getting his carries week 1, right? Same thing with ETN. He's getting his carries week 1. And then Goff has a great opening schedule. Everybody was talking fast, telling me I felt like I was rushed into Goff there and yada, yada, yada. But I was honestly ecstatic. Me and Trevor were on the phone for about 5 picks while we were talking, kind of just bullshitting during that quarterback run. And I was ecstatic that Goff ended up back to me after everything that happened. Because I thought for sure, like in my opinion, Goff rates in a guillotine league over half the quarterbacks that went ahead of him. I like his early season schedule. I like his situation in the offense that they run there. I don't see any reason why Goff shouldn't be rated above half of those guys. So, that situation to me was the first 3 rounds fell exactly how I wanted them to fall. Like I was super stoked on the way it played out. The only thing I would have preferred if I had best case scenario would be that Gibbs fell 2 more picks and I got to start with him and I got Gibbs and Williams instead of Gibbs and ETN or Williams and ETN. So
Sean, let me ask you something. Because this kind of confused me with this pick. I just want to know what your take was on it. So if you want consistency, and obviously it's a week-to-week thing, you're not looking really long-term. You don't want to have the best team. You just want to have obviously the most consistent every week. But if Rice gets suspended, why did you take Rashee Rice?
So the reason I took him at that point is, you're talking the 6-17 and 18-team league. Like the value at that point was just like too much for me to pass up. And I saw that there was a couple of guys that I liked behind him, like Christian Watson, who fell to me. So I was happy to take Rice there because I already had Higgins, and all I need is to start 2 tight ends or 2 receivers minimum, right? I have to start my 2 starting receivers, and that's it. So I was happy that Watson was there right as well. So I'm just like, I'll take Rice right now. Watson most likely will fall to me looking at the guys' team behind me. So I took Watson right after that, knowing that he could cover Rice if Rice does get suspended. But if Rice doesn't get suspended, and I've been thinking about this lately, which is funny because on the pod, I've been the guy who's been mainly like, Rice is definitely getting suspended. He's definitely conditioner exempt, so on. But like my opinion is changing as time is going on. And it's only because like it is falling into the background of everything. Like it's not news right now. It's literally just kind of out of sight, out of mind for a little while now. So as this goes on, it stays this way and we get into training camp and things go on. I could see the league quietly letting him play just like they did with Alvin Kamara until a legal situation plays out. So if that happens, now I have one of the this guy would have been drafted 2-3 rounds earlier if he was guaranteed to play week 1. So now I'm sitting on a great guy week 1, right? And if not, I can play Christian Watson, who I suspect will be their number 1 target in Green Bay as long as he's healthy.
That's pick 107 that you got Rice.
Yeah,
What's that?
That's pick number 107 that you got Rice right there.
Yeah,
right?
Chiefs said that he's been watching the case. No, we haven't been watching the case, Chief.
Yeah, feel free to give us a little update if you got any information, man. The more the merrier, especially now that he's on my guillotine squad.
But it looks like he's basically saying it looks like he's not going to get suspended, which is great for all my dynasty shares of Rashee Rice. Not have to worry about.
Yeah, he's saying court date not until December. If that's the case, I could absolutely see them playing it out. The same situation happened with Alvin Kamara. It really did. In Vegas, they had that thing going on out here, and that's the reason I know more about that is because it was here. But had that whole thing going on, and it literally he played the whole season, didn't even play a suspension out until the next start of the next year.
Maybe I'll go. Hey, Chiefs, what do you think I can get in dynasty for what do I got to get? What do I have to give to get Rashee Rice on my team in Dynasty? If you can hurry up.
Second and third.
Like a second and a third?
That's what I would offer up for him. For me, third rounders don't mean a lot, especially next season. So I would throw up a second, and then I'd ice that little whistle with a third real quick just to kind of make sure they bite.
Yeah, I might have to go and I got a lot of shares of them, but there's a few leagues I don't, so I might have to go throw out some feelers before. Yeah, see,
you were talking betting earlier. What's the over under on him receiving yards touchdown wise based on that suspension, or are they not offering up anything for him right now because of this?
There's nothing on him. Like anyone.
I was gonna say, how could you imagine if it was like less than like 500 yards or something because he's supposed to be out half the season and then he plays all year?
Yeah,
that'd be such a steal.
Chief said just the second. He said just the second. That's what I think. I think I could get him just for a plain second.
Well, you could, but I like to throw the third because, like I said, it means shit to me, and that's going to win you the deal instead of somebody else throwing in like a second. And what's that guy you like so much in Carolina again?
Oh, Mingo. Mingo.
I paid Debo in a third, and I don't care, dude. I love Rice like that, so I don't have any kind of remorse. In Dynasty, give it to me.
Yeah.
That was when it just happened too, so that was fresh off of the accident.
Yeah, any prop bets for guys coming off like major injuries or possible suspensions or possible holdouts, there's really the books are really like on pause right now with some of these guys. So if you're looking for like a season long prop, they don't want you getting in on.
Of course not, man. They're gonna have to break your knees if you win that bet.
Yeah, if you win that bet. So,
hey guys, real quick, do you guys have a candidate for who you think has good odds of getting eliminated week 1?
Oh yeah. That's why I was about to go there too. I'm so glad you said that, Alex.
All
right, you guys want to go first? Because I like to save mine for last.
I'm just gonna say I'll go first. I think it's I don't know what team it was. It was the team that took the 2 quarterbacks really early.
This one right here.
Yeah, and he took.
That's my vote too.
He took Odunze, and I don't like a chain. I don't think. All
right. At the sake of putting myself in a bad position in the $50 league, because I'm sure a lot of you that are in here are listening to that are in that league also, stacking your players in a guillotine league is never a good idea.
Yeah.
You're basically putting yourself in a position where, like this guy right now, he's counting on the Eagles week 1 to do well. Like, we never know what happens week 1. We've seen like Super Bowl champions get their butts kicked in the first week of the season.
Yeah.
Week 1 is always up in the air. So like the last thing you want to do is put all your eggs in one team's basket to start the season. So, and not only did he do that, he took a very volatile player in Achane who like could easily be falling apart by the time the season starts, who might not even be playing. So he doesn't have the guaranteed anchor points from any of his top 3 picks, in my opinion.
He's my vote too. Not to mention, he's got Odunze, he's got McConkey, and he's got Ben Sinnott. It's 3 rookies that are going to be in the starting roster, and he's going to expect them to perform week 1.
And Sinnott, I was upset that he took Sinnott because that was a snipe for me. But it did not fit his build at that point because it's his first tight end. Yeah, so you don't want that rookie to be your starter week 1.
I just think the Odunze pick was not very. I mean, he's the 3rd receiver on that team.
Yeah.
Second,
I'd have taken all 3 of the receivers that went right after him over him.
Yeah. So I was really confused. Unless he's a Bears fan, I don't know. But
and then the Caleb Williams afterwards too was kind of like just a head scratcher at that point because you didn't even fill your main roster yet, and you're taking your backup quarterback.
He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rookies.
These guys are the thread, man. They're cracking
the all rookie team.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah, they were up there for my pick, dude. Honestly, like it's in my bottom 3. Like me and Trevor literally had a bottom 3 chat the other day, and they were in my bottom 3. I hate to say it, man, because Cheeky seems like nice dude on the thread, but man, dude, like you just got to get your skills up to par, man. Maybe you should jump in the 50 and try again because this was definitely not your best work.
Well,
Who else you got?
at least it's a low enough buy-in. Like that's why I didn't mind because it's like $25. I'm gonna learn, and you know sometimes you gotta pay to learn. So it was I'm in. I think it was a good learning experience. So I think I would definitely do things a little bit different next time, depending on the group that I'm drafting. But if I'm drafting with pretty much the same group, I probably would have went with CD Lamb there instead of the quarterback, and then just filled out the rest of my roster that way. Especially seeing where Alex got Justin Herbert, I'm like, geez, I could have waited that whole time and got him.
I know. I couldn't believe that. That was a pretty ridiculous scenario, in my opinion.
And
Especially because there's like 5 teams right ahead of him that didn't have a quarterback yet, and he was the last of like a group. Like there was a big teardrop, in my opinion, after Herbert. So I can't believe they allowed it to go around that way. But to each their own, right? I mean, maybe they're looking at quarterback on the waiver wire, and that's kind of was their game plan after the run that happened in the early second. So.
All right. Well,
Alex, it's a great group of people, by the way.
Yeah.
So you guys want to know my one? I'm not going to pick the same one. Obviously, you guys did, even though I could easily do that because your arguments were pretty sound. But drum roll, please. Mr. TB76, come on down. You are the worst team on this Dynasty League or PT League. I'm sorry. I am sorry, my friend. All the way to Will Levis as your first week starter. I mean, wow, bro. That is the one position that you should try to solidify some guaranteed week 1 points so that you can at least be like in a good position to move on. Like Will Levis is like such a volatile week 1 player. Like you have no idea what's going to happen week 1 with him yet. Like he did not play well the final couple weeks last year. I don't really see him coming out on fire week 1. So
he's at Chicago and then at home against the Jets. That's a terrible first 2.
Man, I just don't like it at all for him, you know.
So,
and then,
Sean, let me ask you a question. So
go for it,
because this will help me learn about Fab. So we have what, $200? Is that our budget?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just say TB gets bounced. Okay.
Okay.
How much do you think Justin Jefferson will go for?
So, well, you saw last year's week 1 or like picks that Trevor posted up on the pod last week. So they went for Travis Kelce was like the big guy on the first one last year, and they went for over half of their FOB. They bid like 115, I think, 120, something like that, to get Travis Kelce that week. So my guess would be that Jefferson's going to go around that same route, you know, the 100 to 120 range. So, like, because I was throwing out bids in the 30s thinking that I was overbidding. And then, you know, when I saw what actually happened, it was obvious that I wasn't in the running.
Huh.
So, yeah, but it's going to be interesting because you never know, man. I mean, I could say that now and then everybody's listening and be like, I'm not going to be that guy. And then now, like, the Justin Jefferson goes for like $26. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody's irritated that they didn't throw a $28 bet in there, you know?
We have another candidate.
Oh, we got TC show? Oh, okay, Jeff, let's go look at TC. Let's go see what TC's got. Well, number 1, he started out with a Dolphin player and a Dolphin logo, so he is on my list already. You know, I mean, he took Dalton, so he's a little bit back in there, but he's still on the bottom of the list so far.
That'd be a nice fab week 1 fab bidding. You got Hill, Harrison, Kincaid, Dell. I mean,
yeah, dude, this is another one that like I'm not a fan of like the 3 quarterbacks in a row right there. Like he just basically felt obligated. He has no depth at all. He didn't take his flex spot until Jerry Jeudy in the 10th round.
No, correction, because we're only starting 2 wide receivers here, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you're right. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
He sniped Kincaid and Zamir White for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of. I don't like Harrison over London or Olave because of that week 1 scenario that we talked about, or Kupp or Smith. To be honest with you, I probably would have taken any one of those 4 over him just for that week 1 situation. But that was a tough one because he was dropping so far at that point that it's hard not to take him there. But it's week 1 wise. He's a rookie. You don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Like, but you guys, like, I know Scott was talking about it because me and you chatted that You would have taken Harrison had
I would have taken him. I think over London just because I think he's just going to get peppered with targets. I mean, and if you're just looking, basically you're just looking for a bunch of floor players. And
do you really think he's going to get peppered with targets in week 1 enough to make him worth that second round investment right there?
How many targets do you think he's going to get week 1? I bet you he gets like
5,
7, 8,
6,
7. I think he gets 7 to 8 targets.
Set the line. It's not a pub sub bet.
Because you know why?
Oh, it does sound like a pub sub bet. Let's see if we could get a. Let me see if I can see his. I want to see his roster here.
They're not. It's just going to be. It's going to be him and McBride.
I want to see his game. Like I'm not used to doing this on here, so I can't find his actual schedule. Who's his first week of the season? Who do they play? The Cardinals.
I can find out.
Yeah, I can't. For some reason on here on the computer, it does not navigate nearly the same, so I can't find the stuff that I can
Buffalo. You don't know that? It's Buffalo.
Are you serious? How do I not know that? What is wrong with that? I should I deserve to be whipped for that.
Is it in Arizona? Is it in Arizona?
No, it's at Buffalo.
Oh, it's at Buffalo. Then you know what? He's going to get the targets because they're going to play from behind.
They will play from behind, just like every other team Buffalo is going to face all season.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Hey, are you guys excited about Trey Benson while we're on the Arizona Cardinals?
Trey McBride?
No.
Trey Benson, the running back.
I mean, Dynasty, yes. Probably no.
Typical Bills fan.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I've been drinking. It's oversight. This was the last second pod. My mind's not in the right place right now.
You got called out, man.
I did. I deserved it, though, man. I deserve it. It's terrible. I should know these things.
Jeez.
All right.
Sorry, I got distracted. Me and Chiefs fan going at it over here is distracting Scott.
All right. So we'll
got a little
got anything else
going or something?
Got anything else going on with this? Because did we want to save? I thought we were going to save some of this for the pod, but it looks like we
yeah.
This is fun though. Is there any other teams that you guys don't like? Because there's a couple I don't like. Is there one you do like? Let's talk about one you do like, other than yourselves.
I actually like Alex's team. To be honest with you,
no, you can't say that. We got not teams we've already seen. Really? Other teams, Scott. You got to pick a different team. You can't hype up out. You already hyped yourself up.
All right, let me look at let's see, Zubakis.
Let's talk about Chief. He's in the top right now. Should we talk about him?
Yeah, there you go. Highlight him. Let's see what he's got. Mahomes, typical Chief.
The dreaded stack, bro. You stacked your hometown squad, dude. Man,
Devontae's gonna come out swinging, dude. So I noticed a trend. It happens every year, and it was really highlighted by Adam Thielen last year. It's these veteran aging receivers, expect Stephon Diggs, expect not just receivers, but Eckler, expect these guys who are up there in age to come out blazing because they know the systems, they've played other teams, they know what to do, and then they kind of wear down towards the middle of the season and stuff. But a guy like Devontae Adams, I expect him to come out with something to prove. Same thing with Eckler, So that pick in a redraft format, Devontae Adams is probably going to win you a couple weeks.
See, I honestly am not a fan of this team. It was one of my if it wasn't the bottom 3 in our conversation, it was 4. It was close. And it's only because, honestly, I mean, I said it in the chat too. He needs crutches for his running back room here, man. Every single one of these guys is a step away from falling apart.
I don't mind the Javonte, but I'm a little nervous about Alvin Kamara this year. I really think Kendry Miller's going to get a lot of run this year.
Are you talking about this guy right here, Kendry Miller?
Yeah,
right here?
yeah. I was hoping to get him maybe as one of my running backs, but you listen to me too much.
Well, you can thank Seabomb for that because he sniped me by taking Corum and my handcuff right in front of me, so I had no choice but to take Miller.
Yeah. I gotta quit talking, touting my players on the pod. It seems like every time I get in these drafts, my players are all my sleepers are all getting drafted.
She says I'm bugging
and everything. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm gonna start touting I'm gonna start taking terrible touts. It's gonna be terrible touts every time.
Dude, Chiefs life, man. Not only did you get old running backs, but you only got 3 of them. So that's scary as hell right there, too, right? You got to play at least 2 of them. What if one of them goes down early season? Then you're praying that the other doesn't get hurt.
Well, he has one more pick, so maybe he'll pick up Frank Gore Sr. Complete the Mount Rushmore.
I mean, geez, I don't hate the Devontae Adams pick, but I just feel like there was better receivers on the board for him at the time. So I would have taken somebody else there because, again, the week 1 scenario, if I'm not mistaken, I think Vegas plays somebody that I'm not too excited about for them week 1 either. So it's one of those situations where that's a scary prop. And the Chiefs start out slow every year. You know, you've got a first game connection scenario going with Mahomes and Brown. We don't even know where Brown's going to fall in that pecking order. So we know at least he's behind Kelsey minimum, right? Other than that, I mean, you took Aaron Rodgers as a backup quarterback early and then came back again and took Knicks. I mean, unless you're planning on making a trade for one of these quarterback needy teams, that's the only other thing I could think as to why you would do that. But your depth is scary, man. Like, you feel free to trade me to Wicks because I kind of wanted him to drop and you took him before me. So that's frustrating. And I'll work with you on some depth to help you out and get him from you. But other than that, we got a pick. We got a live pick, everybody, on the pod. Live pick.
There you go.
Drake May.
What? Drake May. Wow. Okay.
You guys
I like Ingram this year. Redraft. I think he's underrated. So that's a good pick.
You guys see Jeff over here. You guys can roast my team if you want.
Go ahead. Before we leave, let's go ahead and do Zubakis real quick. Where's he at?
Zubakis.
Like it.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of hate on his squad.
He's got the RB1 in Denver over there, apparently.
The thing I hate is that he took players I wanted when the time was,
I wanted Kittle, you freaking bear hunter.
Scott's hoping you were ice fishing during that pick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Talk about living in Alaska. He talks about how he has to take a plane to work.
Yeah.
Right?
He takes a prop plane to work.
Yeah, well, he can see Russia from his porch too, right?
He lands on the water. It's about that time.
Northern Lights.
He should be putting his snowshoes away, and the igloo should be melted by now. It's June.
Dude, I'm literally picturing him like
there.
pulling up into like a dirt driveway with like one of those little handmade fences outside, and he's walking up to his door, and this deer comes running up to him, and he's all petting it. This eagle flies onto his arm, and he's like, "Oh, hey guys," like just like that's like his normal life,
Well, he picked a good team. I like your team, Zoobs.
He took Kittle and he sniped me with Curtis Samuel. I want Curtis Samuel. Yeah, he got me a couple times.
Yeah, he got a good squad, man. I like Zach Moss where he got him. I felt like James made a boo-boo by taking Pollard over him. I liked actually the next 3 backs that went off the board 4 if you could put Warren in the mix over Pollard, to be honest with you. But I definitely think he got a good pick there with Moss too. Walker falling all the way to him was a steal. I can't believe Aaron Jones went over Ken Walker. That surprised me.
Yeah, he. I think you'll be. Yeah, that team should definitely be.
Moose, not deer.
Going to be hard to get knocked out. Moose.
Yeah, his team. He's going to survive week 1 for sure. I mean, we're looking at TB, Cheeky Hobson. I think they're definitely like 1 and 2 in the potential knockout realm. But he's got a good squad.
What do you guys think of Super El Biesto's new icon there? Pretty sharp, eh?
Well,
I couldn't figure out what he meant. It made me want to go to Roberto's though and get a super burrito.
Oh, is that what it says? SB?
Yeah, it's a San Francisco 49er logo. It's Super Biesto.
What do you think of my team name? Did you see my team name, Alex?
No, what's your team name?
I changed my team name he changed his team name to El Super Bisto, so I changed my team name to El Super Biesto. Couldn't help
guys, hey, before we wrap up, I got to honor a little promise I made to my daughter. So she's super stoked that we have 105 subscribers, and I told her that she could come and say hello to Dad's little podcast crew and stuff. So I'm gonna have my kid send her in.
Is she gonna jump in the room or just come sit in the room with you?
No, she's just gonna come over here and come to my shoulder or something.
That's not how you spell it, Gary. It's BEESTO.
Yeah.
BSTO.
Gary, you're always going to be BS though.
Until you aggravate us, and then you're gonna be pesto. So you guys are gonna be on the pod tomorrow. You guys know what you're talking about?
No, not really. I'm gonna have
Football,
to
fantasy.
really work on it tonight and tomorrow during the day. But obviously just the regular news and notes, and then we'll probably get into. I'd like to, like I said, get into some. I really want to get into some redraft ADP if we could. Probably bring up a couple of them $100. Maybe we'll bring up a couple of them $100 leagues that finished already and go over them. Kind of look at the where guys were going. Maybe talk about a few trades maybe in there, some of those drafts.
Well, by then too, we might have League 6 started off, and maybe could just touch base on what that first round's looking like.
Yeah, so it's and then like I said, I'd like to hopefully do what we're doing now, get into some live questions like this from the gamers. This is their show. I mean, and this is a great time for them to ask questions and brainstorm.
Right. If you guys want to, feel free to throw a question in there, and in one of the high stakes leagues, me and Scott can pull up your team and we can go over your squad if that's something that you want us to do. Like, we'll do that on the fly. No problem.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, even if you guys want to write in and chastise, Sean's team, that I'm sure we would.
Feel free. The Depth Crusaders are ready to roll, man. Like, they'll take the
long
heat.
Segment of that, watching him defend himself.
Well,
I can't go get her times, man. You guys are a lot of fun. So I can't help but just engage from time to time. Man, Scott, I just cannot get over that tan, and your choice of shirt color, like, it really just accents it even more.
I know, of course.
It's like you knew what you were doing.
I'm a professional. Hi there.
Oh, look at that. Hey, put your head right behind him. He might look like he has hair for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, she does that all the time. She puts her hair on mine, and then you guys get to see what it's like.
There you go.
Look at that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, Alex. You got to start growing it out, brother.
Look, he isn't bald no more.
That's funny.
Yeah, hair envy. She teases me all the time, dude. She's a ham. Love her.
Hey,
you're on the podcast now.
What's your name? Tell
But she
everybody
can't
your
hear
name.
you. What's your name?
Abigail.
Abby Ray.
Abby Ray.
Abby Ray.
Yes.
Awesome.
Do you have a favorite football player?
Do you have a favorite football player? You can put on your hat. So I'm a 49er fan. Mom is a Steelers fan.
Cowboys?
No, it's not. No, it's the cutest logo she could find.
Oh.
She's a
Oh,
Dolphins fan.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
A dolphin.
That's so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking.
I think.
I know, but she looks cute in teal, so we'll take it.
Yeah, that's what they used to say about my dad when he became a Dolphins fan.
I don't know if we're going to speak about
Okay, consider.
Sorry, Dad.
Anyways, guys, well, it was great talking to you. It's nice to have a little bit of time to get on the pod and everything. Like you mentioned, I've been working two jobs again, so it's pretty draining. I think I'm on day.
I want to go over this real quick before we get going. So Chiefs writes in, and actually me and Sean and Ken were talking about this when I was in Florida with Ken. So Chief says, hey, when are we going to do a Ballsville convention so we can all meet up? I think we need to, and I know everyone's got kids and stuff going on, but I think one of these times we need to, I think most of you guys are on the West Coast. I think one of these times we need to meet up in Vegas and go see Sean, and we need to all get together. And it would be cool if we could ever get together. if we could ever get together, go to one of those fantasy football conventions in Vegas, we'll pool our money in and we'll have we'll draft a Ballsville team in Vegas. And one of those high state, I think they're like $1,200 or $1,400. And we'll pool our money in and we'll create a Ballsville draft.
I'll dress up as
that's
Farmer
a cool.
Sean. I'll go there.
That's
and
a cool
represent.
idea.
Yeah. And that'll be our Ballsville team. So we got one of these. I mean, we got to plan it out. We got to plan. I think it'd be great. And we need to get some swag, man. We got to get some swag lined up so we can wear this stuff.
We've
Yes,
discussed
definitely.
that. That's in the works. Scott, you're letting cat out of the bag a little early, my friend. We're working on it.
I love it. That's a great idea.
All right, I got to hustle out. So I'm going to run out. So until next time, Ballsville gamers, go ahead and tune in for the pod tomorrow. But we are out.
See you, bye, Bibs.
All right, guys, I got to take off. Sean, I'll